And welcome into Yelling from the Couch. I'm Brent Humphries, joined by my co-host Gordon Chatterton. And Gordon, we've made it to the national championship game, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about the semifinal games too. Monday night coming up. How you doing, man? You doing all right? You excited for this national championship game?
Not as excited as I would be if there was another team in it. Overall, yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I'm excited to see Indiana since they've never, ever been there before. Well, if they have, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I don't think they've ever won a national championship.
No, they've never won a national championship. I think they have a claimed one like in the 40s or something, but an official national championship that's recognized by the NCAA. They have not done it before. And Miami has not won since 2001. Neither one of these teams have been here in a while, especially in Indiana's case.
Wasn't it before 2001? I thought Ohio State played them in 2001 and beat them.
2002. They beat them in 2002. Miami won in 2001.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. I knew there was one of them. It was the Orange Bowl, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, so exciting times coming up here with the college football championship on Monday. And let's just go ahead, Gordon, and let's talk about the games right here. And let's start out with the first one that we had last week. Number 10, Miami outlast number 6, Ole Miss, 31-27 to win the Verbo Fiesta Bowl.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say this was the most entertaining game of the playoff semifinals for sure between the two. And in that game, it was really close, competitive. Both of Ole Miss's games have been, they may have played the best two games, you know what I mean? The most entertaining two games of the playoffs so far, the Ole Miss Rebels have.
By far. But I will say this, though. This game, it was enjoyable to watch, but it pissed me off all at the same time. How do you not call that last pass by Miss? How's it not called PI, pass interference? I mean, the dude pretty much was dry humping him down the sideline. I mean, he might as well just throw the saddle or even said friggin' yeehaw. And then he grabbed him, like, trying to pull him down onto the ground, like, come here, lover boy, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, damn. I mean, I've seen blatant PIs not called, but that one was PI 50 yards down the field. I mean, he pretty much just grabbed his jersey and said, I want to take this with me. I'm taking this with me. He almost ripped his damn clothes off.
Yeah. I don't know how you don't call it there, but, it's, you could have called PI, you could have called holding, any of that right there, because he had a hold of him that whole time. And, nothing was called there, and Ole Miss falls 31-27. But before we get to that play, Miami starts out scoring with a field goal to go up 3-0 in the first quarter. You got a low-scoring game, it seems like. Miami's up 3-0, and you're like, okay, maybe this is going to be a defensive battle. And then the second quarter happens, and Keywan Lacey runs 173 yards to the house, the longest rushing touchdown allowed by Miami since 2018. That's a heck of a thing right there.
Yeah.
And then Charmar Brown, I think they call him Marty Brown, I think is what they call him. Doc Brown, I don't know. Got some Back to the Future, weird thing going on here, mixing them together. He scores on a 4-yard run for Miami. And then Marion gets a 52-yard reception from Carson Beck in the second quarter there. And Ole Miss, they score a couple of times as well. Well, they score 2 touchdowns that they scored 13 points. I should say, I'm trying to spit it out here. But Miami's up 17-13 is the key thing at the half. And that second quarter really turns it around. And they're like, okay, we may have a game here. And all of a sudden, here we go. The second half happens. Gordon, I know you caught most of the first half, but what are your thoughts on the first half of the game there before we get to the second half here?
I saw a lot of, don't get me wrong, there was a little bit more offense in the second quarter than first. But I saw good defense. I saw really good offensive plays that beat the defense. But as far as the defensive play calling, I don't think there was any broken plays in that first half at all. It was just really good plays. That's all it was. There's no defense to a perfect pass. And as bad as I hate to say it, Carson Beck did throw a couple that would be deemed as perfect passes because an Ole Miss defender was right there and they couldn't get to the ball. So other than that, I mean, there was a lot of pressure. There was good, cornerback play, good safety play. Linebackers were making good tackle. It was a really it was an entertaining game all the way up until about the last half of the fourth quarter.
Yeah. And then the second half, Miami gets the ball. They come out and they miss a field goal on the very first possession. So they don't score any there. And then Ole Miss gets the ball. And what do, Gordon, when they come down the field? They also miss a field goal. So they're trading missed field goals here. Still 17-13. Miami gets the ball, and Beck throws a pick. Ole Miss gets the ball back in the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter. And what do they do with it? They come down, and they hit a field goal. 17-16 going into the fourth quarter. Miami's ball. Miami, they end up punting the ball. They get a first down, but they punt it. Ole Miss got the ball, down 1, and they come down, they get a field goal. Ole Miss takes the lead in the fourth quarter. And here we go. This is where the back and forth starts in. 19-17. And then Carson Beck throws a pass to Malachi Tony for a touchdown. Miami goes ahead by 5. And you talk about a freshman right here. I mean, last year it was Jeremiah Smith, the freshman.
And Ryan Howard. Or no, what's his name from Alabama?
Ryan Williams. Those were the two guys you talked about as freshman wide receivers last year. And then this year, the freshman wide receiver everybody's going to be talking about is Malachi Tony. He had a catch on the sideline that ended up not being a catch because his toes come down out of bounds, but his heel was in bounds. What an amazing catch that he had that was for naught, but what an effort from him anyways. And he played a heck of a game.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I didn't see the play, but you sent that picture, but I also saw it on Sports Center Top 10 that night. So I was like, yeah, that was freaking ridiculous.
Yeah. And then Ole Miss comes down after that touchdown, and they score a touchdown of their own to go back up 27-24, a touchdown to Wright from Chambliss there. And here we go, man, back and forth. And then Miami gets the ball. They come down the field, and they throw another touchdown. And they don't throw a touchdown. They leave Carson Beck wide open to just run the ball 3 yards in. Nobody there for him. He runs it in, scores a touchdown with under a minute left, with like 20 seconds or something left on the clock. Ole Miss gets the ball, and they come down, and they make a couple of, completions. They're in the range. I mean, they were at the 25-yard line of Ole Miss. Or not 25-yard line, sorry. They were at the 35-yard line of Miami. And then that's when the play happens, Gordon. As when Chambliss throws the ball down to the field, and the defender for Miami is just, like you said, all over him, all the way down the sideline, just riding him all the way. No call, no flag. Game is over. Miami advances. Ole Miss, I was pulling for them in our picks last week. You went Miami, I went Ole Miss. I just went with what I was hoping to happen. So you went 2-0 last week in the picks. I went 1-1, but Miami moves on. They survive Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that's the first time I've ever heard a unanimous up there in the box on that last play. The two broadcasters and their referee, their referee play calling that just announces really doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
They all agreed. How in the hell do you not call that? Well, they didn't put the hell word in there, but but that's just me. They said, how could you not call that? They said that was egregious. That was absolute. There was no mistaking that was a pass interference. And there's a referee standing there staring right at it. He must have been a Miami fan.
Must have, but Miami controlled the clock in this game. They had the ball for over 41 minutes, and they just, had the ball longer, kept the ball out of Ole Miss's hands, which is the best game plan for them. Ole Miss had the ball 18 minutes, and, they were a PI call away from having a free play to go to the Natty.
Yeah, but that'll tell you how good Ole Miss's offenses was. 19 minutes, and they almost scored enough from a team having the ball 41 minutes and almost beat them.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often. That just means that when they go down the field, it don't take long. It's done in a hurry.
And we've talked all year about this. If Carson Beck plays a good game, Miami's in a good spot. And he played a pretty good game this time. He was 23-37, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick, and he scored the game-winning touchdown on that rush that went in there. So, Miami is heading on to Championship Monday. They are going to play host. I mean, they're playing in their home stadium on Monday night. So
that sucks. Yeah. That should never happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they don't know who's going to be in the national championship at the end of the year, but there should be a caveat that if the stadium is actually the home stadium of a team, they need to move the fucking game.
Yeah. I'm sure they've probably got hotels and everything all sold and everything's probably why. But yeah, it's a home field advantage there. But Indiana fans, I hear, are traveling pretty well to this one, so maybe not. Happened a few years ago in the NFL with the Rams when they played the Bengals in their home stadium. First time that happened in the NFL.
Yeah.
But,
and it could happen again this year.
It could, San Francisco.
Yep.
What
happened at Tampa Bay did it too. When Tom Brady won the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it was in the big sombrero, I do believe.
I thought the Rams were the first team to do it. Maybe not.
I could be wrong, but I think
I'm gonna look it up real quick because I'm not sure. Let's see. What year was that? 2020, wasn't it?
Well, it was Tom Brady retired after the following season. So it was either 2020 or 2021, one of the two.
Right. You're right. They did win it in their own home stadium. So they won it the year after the Rams won it in their home stadium, too. So, yeah, sorry for even questioning you, Gordon. That's on me right there. I did not remember that. But, yeah, he did win it in his home stadium. So Miami's looking to kind of do the same thing here on Monday night. And we'll see if they do. But we'll talk about that one here in a little bit. But let's go ahead and let's talk about it. The other semifinal game. Boy, you talk about not as fun to watch this one as the other one. Number 1, Indiana rolls by number 5, Oregon to win the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. 56-22.
Yeah, that game was, I think they was letting the cheerleaders play whenever Oregon scored at 22 because they put the ass to the belt early. I mean, I quit watching that. I think I texted you. I said, I'm not even going to watch this game no more. I think it was like 2 minutes in the third quarter. I said, this game is done. It's over with.
And it was too. In Indiana, they set the tone from the beginning. The very first play of the game, Indiana takes it back to the house on a pick six to give Indiana the lead, and they never looked back after that. It was all downhill from there for Oregon. I mean, they missed their top 2 running backs, but I don't think even if they had them, you could have put Bo Nix back out there. I don't think it would have mattered in that game right there between Indiana.
No, I don't think so either. I guess Denty Moore should have stayed in the locker room and had some more stew.
Yeah, he should have. Maybe that's why he's coming back next year. He's like, I'm not ready for the NFL if that's what they're doing to us right now.
Yeah, I said, I got my ass whooped. I was like, I'm going to go back to college.
Yeah, Indiana scored on 5 of their first 6 possessions. They had some short fields in that, and it was just a complete beatdown from start to finish. Kind of surprising because Oregon didn't get beat down that much at home, but they sure did in this one here. It was close at the end of the first quarter, 14-7. I mean, I'll give Oregon that. They hung in there, and then halftime it was 35-7. Okay. And then 42-15. And then the final score 56-22.
Yeah. I said after they scored and went up 42-7, that when I said, I said there ain't no sense in watching this game no more. Oregon scored, I guess, just shortly after, but I said no, this game's over with. I was like, they're not going to score that much on Indiana. It's not going to happen.
And Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza, 17-20, 177 yards, 5 touchdowns. It's 177 yards and 5 touchdowns. I mean, you think if you threw 5 touchdowns, you're going to have a lot of yardage. He didn't because they had short fields. Kalen Black, 63 yards rushing. Surratt, 75 yards receiving. Charlie Becker had 99 yards receiving. And, Denty Moore, 24-39, 285 yards. He had a pick, lost 2 fumbles, constantly under pressure. Did not look so good out there at all.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a game plan for Carson Beck Monday night. I don't think Carson Beck, he's played a lot of football, but I don't think he's ready for this.
I don't think he is either. We'll get to that here in a second, but Indiana, they have rolled through these playoffs. They destroyed Alabama. They've destroyed Oregon. If Indiana ends up winning the national championship, I would say this is probably one of the best coaching jobs in recent history with Curt Cignetti taking over Indiana a couple of years ago. You have a team that was the doormat of college football for decades, and he comes in, and 2 years later, he had them in the playoffs last year, I believe that was his first season.
It was.
And in his second season, have them going to the national championship, maybe winning the national championship. I think it's one of the greatest coaching jobs ever in college football history.
If it's not, it has to be really close. I mean, because that's ridiculous. How? But he brought a lot of his James Madison players with him. Then he got a quarterback this year. So last year they had a decent one, but he wasn't as good as Fernando Alejandro de Jesus Mendoza.
Yeah. And, all these players he brought in from James Madison, he didn't have any 5 stars. That's what makes this even more impressive. It's a bunch of 3 and 4 stars out there that he's just coaching up. He's not going to have a whole lot of pros over there playing. I mean, he's got some.
Whoever scouted Surratt and Cooper and said they wasn't 5 stars needs to no longer be doing the damn job, because they've got the mentality. Unlike, some of the 5 stars, they got the mentality that they're going to do what has to get done in order to, to win. They just don't rely on talent. They show a lot of effort too. Actually, in that some scenario, if you can see a good one that's only a 3-star, take him, because they've already been disrespected. They've already got that big chip on their shoulder. Bring them in and let them play. They'll outplay most of the 5 stars.
Yeah, and that's evident with this whole Indiana team right here. He's got them to buy in, and he just coaches them up, and here they are. They are the favorites for the national championship game coming up on Monday. And Gordon, let's go on and get into it now. Let's make our pick for the national championship game. It is the College Football Playoff National Championship presented by AT&T. Number 10 and number 1 Indiana, live from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Last I checked, I didn't write down what it was on here, but I think the last time I checked, Indiana was a 3.5 point favorite in this one. I'm not sure if that lines went up or down. I'm gonna check right now.
I don't know where you check. I think on ESPN it was a little bit bigger than that.
It's might have bumped up.
I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
That's where I'm looking right now. Indiana's an 8.5 point favorite.
8.5, yeah. That's what it was. Whenever I looked at it today, when you said 3.5, I was like, well, my eyes do suck, so let me look it up.
I may have been thinking of one of these NFL games, might be what it was. But anyways, 8.5 point favorite for Indiana. Gordon, what do you think about it here?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. It's the home favorite. I mean the away favorite. I'm sorry. Technically, they're the home team that's playing in the other team's home stadium. That really don't make no damn sense. But anyways, the home away from home team is, I said they're going to win. They'll probably win by double digits, because Miami's got a good defense. They've got 2 outstanding linemen. I witnessed it firsthand watching the game, and I thought they were cheaters, but they wasn't. They just that damn good.
Yeah.
They found the one part of the line that Ohio State was weak at, and boy, did they expose it, and they exposed it like hell. I think one of the guards was out. There was a backup guard, and they chewed his ass up all game long, and that pissed me off. But if thing goes to suit and they don't like calling these penalties, Indiana's not going to let them get there. They'll just tackle them before they get through the line. They did it all game against Ohio State. You watched it too. You're just like, damn, you one takedown after another. I mean, Ian's getting thrown down to the ground by the tackles. No calls. That shit holds suit. I don't care who's coming. They're going down because Indiana will just tackle them and throw them to the ground. But overall, I think Indiana's a better team. I think they're going to commit a lot of problems for Carson Beck, which I talked about a little bit ago. I think he's going to end up throwing a couple picks, and he'll probably lose 2 or 3 fumbles, just like Denty Moore and his beef stew that he should have stayed in the locker room and ate, because he'd have probably had a better time eating stew. But because they got 2 good receivers in Indiana. I know Miami's got Tony, and Tony's outrageous.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to end up being a freak of nature. He's not Jeremiah Smith, but he's about as close as you're going to get as far as just being a freak athlete.
He'll be better than Kadarius Toney, I think.
Well, hell, you're not. Boy, you set the bar low.
Just comparing Tonys.
Tony, I think Tony from the 80s was better than Kadarius Toney. But yeah, give me Indiana. Give me a strong cover. So 3 or more points than what the spread is. And I got Cooper, Surratt, and Black all scoring touchdowns.
So this game right here, Indiana's the heavy favorite. Miami, for them to stand a chance, is if Bain and Oh, the other guy's name's slipping my mind. Who is the other? What's the other guy's name out there on the outside with Bain?
I can't remember his name.
Messidor.
Yeah, I tried to forget about him.
Yeah. If those two guys can get pressure on Mendoza, they may stand a little bit of a chance. But like you said, if they're not calling anything on Indiana, they're going to get by with it. Who knows? We'll see. That is their best chance at winning this game here, I believe. Because on the other side of it, Carson Beck, he's due for a Carson Beck type game, right? He hasn't had one of these playoffs yet. The last one he had, I believe, was against Louisville. I think it's time for it this time. I think that's what happens this go around. Indiana has been beating teams down, and I think that continues once again. I think that they just roll right on into the national championship, and I think that they complete the impossible is what people may think. I mean, they were 3-9 in 2023 before Cignetti got there. Cignetti makes them, into the playoffs last year. They lose to Penn State, and people are like, okay, nice little story. And then, like you said, he goes and gets his quarterback, and they come out this year, and they just, they have trouble against Penn State again this year. Had to win on a last-second, touchdown pass to Cooper. And then the Big Ten championship, they played a close game against Ohio State, but since then they have rolled everybody. I think it continues again here. Indiana wins, and I think Indiana gets their first national championship in school history, and they're no longer the doormats of college football. And Curt Cignetti leaves, goes to Las Vegas, and coaches Fernando Mendoza in the NFL.
He just signed an extension. That would be, he gets paid more than he would get paid in the NFL.
But they're not going to let him go up there in Indy, and I don't blame him a bit. Like you said, that's a key battle, the offense and defense. And then Miami's run game. They like to run the ball pretty good against Indiana's running defense. So that could be another place there where they could kind of expose them a little bit. But I don't know. I just think that Indiana's got them here, and they're probably going to be champions after Monday night.
Well, I have a good parlay on that game. I hope. The three guys I mentioned, I have them on the parlay to score touchdowns. I got Mendoza with 200 yards passing and Surratt with 50 yards receiving.
I mean, it could happen.
Well, it's a $5 bonus bet that'll pay 63.
I've yet to put anything on that one yet. I'll probably do it like Monday, right before the game happens. That's usually when I put mine in. I'm like, oh man, I need to put a bet in. But yeah. That is, Gordon, what a season we had here on the show, talking college football. This will be the last game that we've got this year until next season. September, man, it just flew on past, man. That it's gone. Just like that, it's over.
I know, and we're going to have to gear up, get a lot of topics ready for next season when it starts.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll probably won't come weekly with the college stuff, after this week. But we'll be here, to talk all the news, transfer portal, coaches going places, players declaring for the draft, all that stuff. We'll have it here. But, it's been a fun season, man. Glad you joined us on this, Gordon, and are on the NFL one too. It's been good. But, man, I mean, if you want to hop on here sometimes, I mean, Kentucky had a big win today in basketball against them Tennessee Volunteers being down 18. They're 17 and come back and won.
I didn't watch the game, but I saw the headline. An errant pass allows Kentucky to hit the game-winning shot.
Yeah, 2 games in a row, man. On the road, they win. You didn't think it was possible. The road dog, Jesse James, twice. And there it is. We didn't even do that on this show here because, well, the technical road dogs is Miami. But if we want to do it, Gordon, Indiana is playing a road game, logistically. So we can say we're rolling with whether they're the favorites, so they're not the dogs. Anyways, we couldn't do that here. So
we found a way to throw that in there.
Yeah, you found a way to squeeze it in there. Fernando Mendoza, he grew up like 2 minutes away from the Miami Hard Rock Stadium, so it's kind of a home game for him, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, well, most of them did go to Jacksonville State. That's in Florida, so I mean they're used to playing in that weather. Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, well, But yeah, man. So you have anything else you want to add here?
Well, as far as when you mentioned about that game between Ole Miss and Miami missed field goals.
Yeah.
Two future Green Bay Packer kickers. They can't kick a friggin' field goal, so you know where they're going. They're going to go to Green Bay. We love the guys who can't make a field goal. That's who we signed.
Also, I seen today that speaking of Green Bay, they're going to extend Matt LaFleur and the GM. How you feeling?
What can I do? Would I go with someone else? Yeah, I wouldn't. Matt LaFleur's been a decent coach. I wouldn't, fire him. I would just tell him, next season, I said, that's a prove it season. Either coach better or find another job. If somebody else wants to pay you to play lackadaisical and stuff like that, let them. I mean, everybody said Mike McCarthy was a good coach, and he was. But he got predictable with his play calling, and that's what their problem was. And they said, well, who are you going to replace him with? Replace him with Matt LaFleur. It wouldn't have been my first choice, but I don't get paid to make that decision. Just like you probably didn't want him to hire Zach Taylor, but you wasn't paid to make that decision. So as fans, we're just stuck with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I did not want Zach Taylor. I was like, after the first season, I'd seen enough already. And then the second season, I'd definitely seen enough. Then they went to the Super Bowl, and I'm like, well, I mean, you could give Zach Taylor credit for that, but we all know why he went to the Super Bowl there. It was not Zach Taylor's doing. But there was a fun little trade proposed here that somebody had. I mean, they were just having fun on this. Let me see what you think about it. The Packers trade Matt LaFleur and a 6th-round pick to the Bengals for Zach Taylor, a 1st-round pick, a 3rd-round pick, and a 7th-round pick.
I'd take it. As long as we still got Jeff Hafley on defense, I'll take it.
I think Jeff Hafley's going somewhere else, though. I think you're losing him.
Then in that case, no.
Well,
it doesn't have to be Hafley. As long as we got a defensive-minded head coach that's not afraid to coach aggressive. We got Micah Parsons. You can afford to coach aggressively. Play press coverage. Play man-to-man. So that play press up. Even if you're going to play zone, press up. If they're going to do that, then guess what's not going to happen? They're not going to throw that ball out quick because corners are going to be within 2 feet of the receiver. Yeah. You ain't going to get the ball out to him. And referees, when Micah Parsons got 3 people's hands on his damn throat, call a freaking holding call.
Yeah, they seem to do that quite a bit with good pass rushers. They let people do a little bit more to them, and that's not right. I mean, if it's a penalty, call it. Call it in the first quarter as you would the fourth quarter. I mean, just call it the whole time. Don't just pick and choose when you call them. Trey Hendrickson gets the same treatment when he's out there too.
Oh, I know. That's probably why he's hurt his back, because they keep folding him back.
Huh? That should. I mean, if like you said, if you're choking somebody out there, I think that should be illegal hands to the face. They call it. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's close enough, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. There's that one picture. If I can find it again, I'll send it to you. There was 3 players, 3 offensive linemen, a tackle, a guard, and a center. One of them had a hold of his jersey and was pulling his shoulder pad out of his jersey, and then one of them had their arm looked like they's getting ready to put the damn Gunther sleeper hold on him. And then the other one was sitting there pulling on the back of the jersey, and the referee was standing right behind it, just with his hand, just sitting there watching, and it wasn't called.
So, yeah, you gotta. I mean, some of them you've got to call it. I mean, if it's that bad, you have to call it. I mean, don't just be like, oh, hey, whatever, it's fine, it's okay this time. No, it's not. If it's a flag, throw the flag.
I think what it is he breaks through and still gets pressure on the quarterback, so they're like, well, it couldn't have been that bad. He got through.
Yeah.
No, he's just that damn good.
Yeah, he's an elite pass rusher out there. Oh, but yeah, man, college football fun season. My coach got fired, so next season I'm pumped about next season already. And Will Stein coming in, he's getting some talent for Kentucky. Super excited about that. I know you're going to be excited about your Buckeyes next year, Gordon. And yeah, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Let's have this discussion. I know you're probably getting ready to go, but let's throw this discussion up here real quick. I read on Google there's five potential new offensive coordinators for Ohio State, because where Brian Hartline went to USF. Brian Daboll.
Okay.
As an offensive coordinator, not a head coach, an offensive coordinator.
Yes. That'd be a home run, I think.
The next one would be JT Barrett. He's a quarterbacks and assistant offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
And just started this year because he was with the Lions last year. He's following Ben Johnson.
I gotcha. And so Caleb Williams has had a jump as a quarterback this year for the Bears under him. So, okay.
Well, you know what they say? Those who can't teach, and JT Barrett wasn't a very good quarterback, but he can definitely teach his quarterbacks.
Yeah, apparently.
And because when he was out there, Jared Goff had a big uptick in his production too.
And he's been down this season without him. So
yeah, it might not be a Ben Johnson thing. It might be a JT Barrett thing.
It could be.
And hey, he's a Buckeye. He started over people he shouldn't have started over. Joe Burrow is one of them.
Yeah.
Because Joe Burrow was on the team when JT Barrett was a quarterback.
That's why he transferred to LSU.
Yeah. And also because he transferred when C.J. Stroud got the start, following JT Barrett and Gage.
Yeah.
I can't remember the dude's name, but you know who I'm
Cornell
talking about.
Jones.
Carnell Jones, yeah. But C.J. Stroud come in. It was a freshman, true freshman, was getting a start. And so he went to LSU.
Yeah.
Okay, C.J. Stroud was a great quarterback, but Joe Burrow should have been the starter over JT Barrett by far. Right now, the quarterback's coach for Ohio State, I can't remember his name. And then there's the guy that was offensive coordinator for Dabo Swinney a couple years ago. That's as a, rebuilding his reputation because he was a highly sought after offensive coordinator until that year with Dabo, and then it kind of went downhill. It's when they lost the Pinstripe Bowls. I mean, but I think Brian Daboll would probably be the best out of the ones that they mentioned, or JT Barrett because he was a former Buckeye.
Yeah, you kind of made the case there for JT Barrett with me. I would think Brian Daboll is your best one. I think it's a home run hire if you do end up hiring him as offensive coordinator. But JT Barrett, like you said, he was the quarterback's coach this year with Caleb Williams. And you've seen, the uptick he's had in production. And he's a totally different quarterback than he was last season. And like last year, I mean, there was times where I'm like, this guy's just going to be a bust. Maybe not now at this point in time. And then last year, you said he was with Detroit and Jared Goff. Look at Jared Goff last year. Look at Jared Goff this year. He's declined in a year without him. So that kind of sells me a little bit on JT Barrett. I think either one of those is probably your best two options right there, I think.
I mean, if you sway JT away from, well, I'm sure, Ohio State can pay you more because I think assistants make more than head coaches, and assistants in college make more than head coaches in the NFL.
Yeah, they can, especially a school like Ohio State. They can pay your assistants pretty handsomely up there. So
and not to mention, it would be more of not only would it be, even if it's equal pay, it's a pride thing. You're going back to your school. And then if Ryan Day ever decides to step down as the head coach because he's tired of pressure, who they going to replace him with? Not more than likely how he got his job when Urban Meyer stepped down and Ryan Day moved up.
Especially if you have success on the offensive side too. That's definitely going to keep you in consideration to be the head coach there someday. So I could see him doing it.
All right, well, that's all I had. I just wanted to throw that out there. So it's college related.
Yeah, it is. And man, like I said, great season we had here on the show. Next season will be better than ever, coming back again. And, hey, go Cats. And we'll see who wins the championship on Monday night. Both of us is rolling with Indiana. So I'm not going to be, super pumped either way. Either team wins it. Not going to be happy. Not going to be sad. Just going to be like, all right, just hoping for a good game. Just give me a competitive game. Don't care who wins it, to be honest with you.
Me neither. I just want to hit.
That's it. Just as long as our parlay hits, do not care. This is one of those games where I really don't care who wins the game or loses it in this one. Just as long as my parlay hits, I'm fine with it.
Offensive explosion. 7 touchdowns for each team.
That'd be awesome for a parlay right there. So we'll see if it hits. Hopefully it does. And like I said, we'll come back here and there with the college episode. But meanwhile, check us out on the NFL side of things as we're still right in the swing of the playoffs on it. And we will catch you all later.
Later on.